so welcome back, future fire breathers. I'm joined today by Tyler Fentzke. He is a military, not veteran, but currently serving in the Army in Station Hawaii. And because of Hero Week today at Apollo Essentials, that's why I'm going to give this interview with them, get to know him a little bit better, and just show our appreciation towards him. All right, Tyler, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself, boss.
Okay, my name's Tyler, and I'm actually in the Coast Guard. I've been in the Coast Guard for 2.5 years.
Okay.
I am in Honolulu, Hawaii. Let's see. Recently, on my weight loss journey, I discovered Trident fitness apparel. And the reason I named it Trident because one, I'm in the Coast Guard. It's a seagoing service, and two, I have dreams of being a part of a TACLET boarding team. So TACLET stands for a Tactical Law Enforcement Team. Those are the guys. That is the most recent video they released was them jumping on the submarines, banging on the hatch, telling the drug runners to get out of the vehicle.
Yeah, I saw that one.
So that's what I'm trying to do, So that's probably about a year to 3 years away, maybe, just depending on my next unit location. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got to say.
Okay, cool. And so when did you start Trident Fitness? How long has that been going on?
So Trident Fitness Apparel has been going on for about 6 to 7 months. I created it in my living room about in January, and I just kind of stumbled onto it. I thought I'd create some T-shirts for those who started following me on my journey to weightlifting, and weight loss, which was on T Gains, which you messaged me on.
Yeah, sorry, I got your name wrong, by the way. I thought it was Tim. I didn't know it was Tyler.
No, it's all right.
So what's been the biggest motivator for you in your whole weight loss journey? How difficult has that been for you? Because I know personally I had my own weight loss journey, and it was pretty difficult before. But let's get to know you a little bit better. Like, where'd you start off with? What was your journey along that?
So I probably started a little bit 6 months into my Coast Guard career when I realized I started gaining weight when I was aboard a cutter for some times. So that's a ship that's a 65-foot ship and longer. So I was aboard a 378, and I wasn't really watching and tracking what I was eating. Eventually that weight just catches on. So and I was also partying and drinking too. So
that's what does it, right?
Yeah, that catches on too. And this one night I just realized how much my life has changed and how much weight I've gained, and I wasn't really happy about that. And I kind of fell into a depression, and I didn't really know what to do. So I started educating myself on a calorie deficit or caloric deficit. And sure, there were some failures and there's some wins. Eventually, from December of 2018 to the summer of 2019, that's when I actually started losing weight. I went from 210 to about 190. And my goal was 185. So eventually I did reach that goal. I did hit that goal, but now I'm back at 190 because I'm bulking right now.
That's good. 20 pounds in less than 6 months? That's still pretty good.
Yeah. So what I did, I would eat 3 meals a day. I'd do a intermittent fasting from I woke up at 4:30 or maybe 5 a.m. and I'd intermittent fast until 11 a.m. to the morning. Then I'd eat my first meal, which was a scoop of chicken and a scoop of potatoes and some rice or something like that. I eat my second meal at 2 p.m. Then I'd eat my next meal around 5 p.m. Then I'd start intermediate fasting. So I lived about 3 miles away from my gym. So I'd either run to the gym or ride my bicycle to the gym and get that cardio before I worked out. And that also burned more calories. That's what a caloric deficit is, burning more calories than what you eat.
Exactly. It's not about how much you actually take in. It's about how much you actually burn, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And would you say that intermittent fasting has been the biggest thing towards your weight loss journey, or what was it?
The biggest thing to my weight loss journey is just wanting to challenge myself and see if I actually had the nerve to complete something. Because I guess in my early childhood, I always felt like I was a quitter. I'd quit things before things got good. So after reading books authors like David Goggins and other authors like Carnegie, I forget his first name, just
Dale
teaching
Carnegie.
things about, yeah, Dale Carnegie. I think he has a book called The Compound Effect.
Mm-hmm.
And just reading books like that, just waiting for the motivation to come along. That's kind of what motivated me. And eventually those things did come along and I would get success.
Okay. And because you're a Coast Guard, you got that whole background. What would you say is the most important? Would it be motivation or would it be discipline?
Uh, Discipline. Discipline is so important. There's some days that I do not want to go to the gym,
Mm-hmm.
but I make myself go, because I have the discipline to do it. Like yesterday, I worked from 5 a.m. to about 1:30 p.m. So that's like 9-hour workday, and I'm like mess cooking. I'm doing dishes and shit like that, running back and
Mm-hmm.
forth. And those days are so tough, especially because you're on your
I can
feet all day.
imagine, man. God.
So so discipline is really a strong factor. If you don't have discipline, you need to teach yourself discipline.
Mm,
Because when it comes to the gym, it's all about consistency, right?
exactly. And what's one thing that you did that to teach yourself discipline? Or did you have that ingrained into you like as a kid?
Yeah, I guess discipline came after boot camp. They kind of beat that into you.
Mm.
And that just became my character after that.
Nice. So if someone was just starting out in their fitness journey, they didn't really have a lot of discipline with them. They didn't grow up in that kind of background that you had. What's one piece of advice that you give to them when it comes to discipline?
I guess one piece of advice that I would give is to track what you do.
Mm,
So if you're feeling unmotivated, you can go back into your logbook, and just see the discipline that you've had in the past to go out and get these gains. They also teach that in the book called The Compound Effect, because I guess a woman was trying to lose weight, and the author told her just to get outside and like walk for 10 minutes. Eventually, those 10 minutes turned into a marathon, and now she's like a marathon runner.
my God. That's funny, man. God, I'm a big believer in all that stuff too. It's like the small things you do daily, they compound for bigger goals too, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure like when you started doing intermittent fasting, did you like go right into it with a 16-hour fast, or how'd you progressively do it? Did you start off at 9 hours, or did you work yourself up to it?
uh, I probably like went aggressively into it after 6 p.m. because I really tried my best not to eat after 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I had help from my boss because for some reason he wouldn't allow me to eat breakfast. So that kind of just played in with it too. So it'd be like from 6 p.m. to 11 a.m.
What? Your boss would
Yeah.
allow you to eat breakfast?
No, we're just really busy in the morning, so it's
Uh,
understandable.
God, that's funny. So for intermittent fasting, I want to get back into the topic because I used to do intermittent fasting too. I quit off for a little bit because that's the discipline thing again. But what's one piece of advice that you give for anyone who's doing intermittent fasting? I know it's hard, it's difficult to do, but do you take anything, maybe a supplement, maybe some sparkling water to help you calm down the hunger?
I used to take a thermogenic by Still. It was shredded AF, so
Okay.
I do that. And then if you're feeling like really tempted, like sometimes when I was intermittent fasting, and I'd be like by an area of food where like the smell is just so intense, I would have to walk away, and get away from
Mm.
that smell, or I'd like tempt myself into going like buying a cheeseburger or something because how hungry I'd be. And that just turns around back to discipline.
Okay. So it always just comes down to discipline. That's what I'm hearing from you, Tyler.
Hmm.
What's another strategy that you use for anybody else that can be easily replicable, that anybody can do to improve their discipline instead of
Hmm.
just tracking?
Another strategy that's a tough one. I kind of just focus on tracking. I guess another strategy would be momentum. Like eventually discipline will build if you keep going to the gym or whatever hobby that you're doing, because it will build up eventually. And the day that you don't do it, that's when you're going to feel off about it. You're going to feel weird about not doing the thing that you're doing.
Okay, so it's just about that routine. If you get inside that routine, then everything should be set. And you shouldn't like
Exactly.
focus on the outcome of the goal that you have. It's good, but you should always just focus on the task that you got to do today.
Right, the task at hand.
Nice. Okay. I want to talk about your Coast Guard career, man. How long have you been doing the Coast Guard thing for? What made you want to get into the Coast Guard field?
So I joined the Coast Guard right out of high school, and I graduated high school in 2017, so it's about 2.5 years or something like that. And the reason I wanted to join the Coast Guard so I could be a narco chaser and a law dog, pretty much, because I had some family members who kind of ruined their lives over drugs, and I felt like if I could get like one drug bust or maybe 10 underneath my belt, I'd be doing my part to keep drugs out of the States, and then that leads from other family members not ruining their lives. That's kind of why I joined.
No, keep going.
I mean, I don't know. My story is just beginning the Coast Guard. See, where's the other question?
No, I just said what made you want to get into the whole Coast Guard field and everything. You told me it was your parents, your family members. They helped you, guide you into that. Did you have any other ambitions before? Maybe like you got your own business? Were you always business minded before?
No, the business thing just kind of came from just reading like self-help books. I felt like that's what I needed to do because eventually I'd like to get out of the 9 to 5. It's just such a grind, just seeing like other people my age already out of it, and they're just living their dreams.
I know. You got YouTubers making millions of dollars.
Yeah, wasn't there like an 8-year-old who he shows off toys and he's just made $8 million from just doing that?
I know. There's different ways to make money now, right? It's not just 9 to 5 or like whatever like salary you got, So it's always, I think, outside the box. And do you like implement a lot of outside the box thinking inside your Coast Guard field as well?
I tried to. I don't think I've had a lot of opportunity yet in my career since I'm just starting out as an E3. Mm-hmm. So that just really hasn't came up,
Okay, cool. And what's your future ambitions? Like 5 years from now, where do you see yourself with your business? Do you see yourself going with a more personal training route where you implement different coaching programs too? What's the big goal?
So 5 years from now, I'd definitely like to start printing my products and like sewing things on like together. So as soon as I PCS, I'm going to get a press, a t-shirt press, and a sewing machine. Because right now I use print-on-demand services with Shopify. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they're good, but I know if I actually start creating a product myself, that it would be better. And I definitely would like to start adding people to my team, like employees or even sponsorship to that too, and like influencers. So I just get my brand name to be bigger and start attending like expos, fitness expos. So that's like the 5-year goal. And at the end of the 5 year, I'd really like to have some property, for the place.
So you're big on real estate investing, or are you just thinking about expanding your business opportunities?
Expanding my business opportunities. I'd like to have a disappearo HQ one day.
Nice, man. Well, I'm 100% with you. If you want that sponsorship, reach out to me in 5 years or so. I'll get you covered, man.
Yeah, you got it, James.
And it's okay, no worries. I got your name wrong, so it's only right you get my name wrong too, right? So 5 years ago, Tyler, what would you say to your past self if you're talking to yourself in the future? What's the one piece of advice you give to your 5 year ago past self, if that makes sense?
Probably to read more.
Read more?
There's so much knowledge in books and just knowledge that gets you ahead of the curve. Because there's other people who write these books and they're just experiencing life on so many different levels.
So that's my dad. He just walked in here.
That's what you said.
Hello, hi. How you doing?
Not bad, you?
Good.
He doesn't like to knock, but that's okay.
Sorry. Carry on.
Nice. That's good, man. So what kind of books would you like to suggest to your past self? Would it be any business books? Something from David Goggins?
If David Goggins had a book back then, definitely his book. I'd definitely read The Compound Effect. Definitely read The One Thing. And there's a few other books that aren't coming to mind right now that I definitely suggest because those books are just so great. They teach you how to talk to people. They teach you about business. They teach you teach you all these other things that just help you come above, and be successful.
Nice, man. That's good. And is there any specific person in your life that's really helped you along this journey? That's been at your side, supporting you every step of the way?
Definitely my dad. My dad's one of the biggest supporters in my life. He's my best friend, and we didn't really have a good relationship until the ninth grade. And that's when we started golfing together. Every day we'd go to the golf course and just build our relationship and start to understand each other and things like that. And I feel like it's kind of like that for most male relationships anyway.
Exactly. It's just through one sport or the other. Maybe it's like a woodworking activity. I know with me and my dad, we like to do a lot of woodworking together, and that's what helps us to bond together. So I'm pretty sure that's what you're getting at with your dad as well, right?
Right.
Nice. And are you in relationship with your wife? Do you have a wife or anything that helps to support you?
I have a girlfriend. She's really supportful too. She gives me ideas. She helps me when I'm feeling down, when I don't believe in myself. So it's definitely good to have that safety net around you too as well.
Nice. And if someone doesn't have that safety net with them, let's say another person to support them, they're going inside this whole fitness journey by themselves, the weight loss journey. Is there anything you'd recommend for them to get, listen to motivational videos, or what's the big thing?
Yeah, definitely listen to motivational videos. And David Goggins also said, be your own support. If you're always looking at other people and thinking like, dang, I wish I could be like them, you're never going to be truly happy with how you look. So take your own pictures, take your pictures from months ago, weeks ago, and compare the two and see how far you've come on your own journey. And that's how you can be your own motivation.
Nice. And did you struggle with that in your weight loss journey too? Do you find yourself comparing yourself to other people? Like some people, maybe they have their own weight loss issues. Maybe they got their stuff a little bit quicker than you did. Were you stuck comparing yourself to them? And how'd you?
I feel like I still kind of do that on some days, but I just gotta snap out of it. Like there's this one Gymshark model I follow, and he's like a year younger than me. I'm just like, dang. If I would have just done something differently and maybe in high school or middle school, I could have the same outcome. I don't know. But then I'd look at my own journey. It's like, well, you're doing this now, so just keep motivated. Because life is a marathon, not a sprint, So eventually I'm going to reach the goals that I have as long as I just keep hammering away at it.
That is a sick mindset to have, man. That's a really good one. I think a lot of people, especially nowadays, they want the quickest thing possible, right? They want immediate effects. I think that's as a result of our own doing, because of the phone and everything like that. It's causing a lot of our expectations to go out the window. So yeah, that's a really good mindset, man. I'm gonna put that down somewhere. I like it.
Hey, do you think we could go on pause? My doctor's actually calling me now.
Yeah, actually, we'll end off the interview right here, man. Thanks again for your time, Tyler. I'm looking forward to keeping up with you again. Okay?
All right. Thank you,
Thanks
Sean.
for your service, by the way.
All right. Have a great one.
Yeah, you too, boss.